What's going on, guys? If you haven't seen the new development video from Axis Games, I highly suggest you do. I'll have the link in the description. It shows off the new animations that they're going to put in the game this year. And I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff from last year and how it's going to be improved this year because there's some huge improvements coming this year. Because last year it was a very limited budget and he didn't have much to work with. He jerry rigged a lot of stuff, which he talked about in that development video, and it's really cool. He just did it to make it work. It wasn't a long term solution. It was just a short term solution. So a lot of people saw that and they thought, well, this is what he's going to work with. No, he's going to get better, and he's already proved it. So let's get to it. Okay, so last year it was a very basic first print of this game, pretty much on Steam. We didn't have full rosters. We didn't have any kind of way to substitute. I do believe substitutions are coming this year. I'm not 100% sure, but he has touched on it. But 53-man rosters, I told him many, many times that this is something we really need to have. In my videos I've made, and I've contacted him on Twitter in various ways, and I've told him that we need 53-man rosters for a variety of reasons, especially if you're going to have franchise mode, which he's also putting in this year, because, teams have to have backups. But we're not going to have injuries this year. This is, like I say, this is something that we'll be able to play with, even though we're not going to really have the need. It'll be kind of like Backbreaker, where you couldn't get injured in Backbreaker, but you still had the full roster. So that's pretty cool. Uh, First and last names are something that's going to be added to this year's game as well. We didn't have we just had the first name initial last year. We didn't have the full name, and that's something I asked him to really put in the game and implement. He did that, so we're going to have that. He's done quite a bit of additions to the mods. He'll talk about that in his next video, I think. I'm not going to touch on everything. Logo mods, he's already done a development video on that. Last year we didn't have the ability to modify the field, end zones, or player select screens or anything like that. And this year we'll have access to all of that. So we'll be able to create college, NFL, whatever we want. Um, that's cool. That just gives you more variation. Franchise mode is probably going to be a basic um, implementation this year. I'm not expecting too much out of it. I think it's just going to be like a season thing and some stats maybe. I don't think you're going to have all the drafts and all that yet. I'm just assumptions right now. I don't know, but that's still more than what we had last year. Last year we didn't have pretty much any kind of animations that were actual animations. They were mostly jerry rigged, pieced together. He already touched on this in his video about how he used like a guy reaching for coffee as a handoff. We're not going to have that this year. We're going to have true, you know, animations that reflect the movement on the field. That's important. More plays and customization. They're redoing the templates for modifying the uniforms and helmets and stuff, and that's going to make it a lot easier and give us more variety. I think there's something about shiny helmets this year. He talked about. Joe was talking to Sackmaster about shiny helmets. I don't really know what that's going to look like, but that's just something. More plays is something we desperately needed from last year. He has touched on that. I don't know how many we're going to get, but anything's better than what we had last year as far as plays are concerned. Okay, so last year we didn't have the proper four-quarter format for football, which is first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and two halves. We didn't have that. All we had was two halves, a 5 minute first half and a 5 minute second half, and that was more arcadey. And I mentioned to him, let's get it to four quarters, like sim football, and 5, 10, 15 minute quarters, and something that we asked for in the forums. Many of us did, and it's getting implemented this year. He's already showed it to us in one of his videos. That's good. That's good to have now. And these are all changes from last year. I'm just trying to give you guys a sense of what he's added just from last year. I mean, because last year was just like a first print, came from the Flash Market, and a lot of people just didn't get that. But anyway, the ability to select weather. This was another feature that we asked for in the forums because you can only get rain and snow if you played season mode in the original, and now we'll be able to select it from the get-go, and that's cool. The ability to select time of day. We got day and night now, so we can make uh, Monday night football games if we want, because there's also like the ability to do like broadcast mods. I haven't seen what that's like yet, but Joe has mentioned it in the forums. So we're going to be able to make like broadcast mods, kind of like with Madden 08. I'm not sure what it's going to be like. We'll have to find out more about that later. Alternate uniforms. Danny's already touched on this. This is a really cool feature because a lot of us like to see old uniforms, be able to select them on the fly. So we'll be able to select any kind of alternate uniform that we make. If we make an alternate jersey, like if we make a throwback jersey or something, we can have that. I don't know if there's a limit to it. I think he mentioned up to 8, but to be honest, there's not a lot of teams that have that many alter uniforms. So we'll have the home and away, of course, but we can alter it any way we want. Have throwbacks or whatever. That's pretty cool. So I can do the Miami Dolphins of orange with the old helmet if I want to. So that's pretty cool. Moddable cheerleaders. I don't know if this is coming this year, but he did mention that it's coming eventually. I don't know if it's coming. I can't say it's coming this year because I don't know. But that's something cool that we can add to the game atmosphere, whatever. He said that they were animated, so that's pretty cool. All of this will be added from last year, so anything that we can be added to from last year is a huge improvement because last year was very bare bones, and this year it's looking to be filled out a lot more, and that's cool. So improved graphics. Now this is probably one of the biggest problems with the game that people saw. I mean, people love good graphics, and this game did not have them what they're used to. So Danny did say that there's going to be a sneak peek next Wednesday. I think they have like a screenshot Wednesday now. They're going to show like some improved textures and stuff, but I still want to see where modders can have full access to the textures because we could add a lot to the game, even what he puts on it. So it's really important to be able to mod even the graphics. I mean, the people at Football Idiots can do marvelous things, so that could be huge. We just need the access, but hopefully he'll do that in the future. And again, guys, I know we can't get it all in one shot. I mean, it's an incremental process. He has limited budget and everything. And the more that we support this game this year, the more he can improve it next year. And there'll be competition in the market, of course. We got Joe Montana and the Smoothie guy, so we'll have even more ideas being thrown around between those two developers. So we're going to get options. Our time of suffering is coming to an end. I mean, we don't have to buy Madden anymore. I mean, because we got 3 people in the arena now that are going to be making a football game. So I'm excited for the future. I don't know why anybody can't be. I mean, opposed to 2 years ago when we had nothing, when we had to continue to play old games and update old games. Pretty soon, I don't think we're going to have to do that anymore. I mean, we got 3 people in the arena with all customizable football games, and they're all going to be pushing each other to get better. I mean, Axis is probably what people would say is on the low end of the totem pole, but to me, this is a huge improvement from last year. And it's not just about the product; it's about the guy making the product. I mean, the guy listens to feedback. Any developer that listens to feedback and implements it into their game, that shows that they're trying to make the product that you want. And he has said this countless times. He said, "I'm trying to make the product that you guys want." And he's showing it through his actions. I mean, he's made these development videos showing you the progress of him making the game. That's really cool. I mean, every week we have something to look forward to about how the game is made. I mean, some people like Havo is interested in coding and stuff. I mean, I had no idea how the process is, and animations, how they look in the game before they get put in the game. I mean, I've never seen it. I mean, I know there's a lot of technical stuff that goes on. It's just very interesting to see. I mean, I wish more devs would do stuff like this. I know they do streams, some devs do, but just to get to the technical side, it's really interesting to me. I mean, some people might find it boring, but I really like it. And this just shows that he's trying to communicate with the community. I mean, he's like, here I am. I'm making this. I'm trying to make a football game, and here's how I'm doing it. But when you have a developer like this that values customer feedback, those customers are going to stick with them through thick and thin. I mean, even through the bad times. I saw the potential in this game when it first came out, and I said, I'm going to latch onto this game, and I'm going to support it 100%, and I'm going to see how far he can take this thing, because he listens to feedback. Anybody that listens to feedback like this, it deserves a shot, and I think we deserve to give him a shot. He's trying to communicate with us. He's implementing countless features that I've asked for in the forums and other people as well. He's just done so much to say, I'm trying to make a football game that you guys want to see. I know I don't have the greatest budget. I know I don't have a lot of resources, but I'm going to try to do the best I can with what I have. And so far, he's done a marvelous job so far. I mean, this is only going to get better too, guys. I mean, this is the stuff that he worked with last year. We could just throw out the window because he was just doing that to make it work for a short-term solution. And now we're seeing proper animations in this video, and I mean, it's a start. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You can't just have it all at once. I mean, Madden took a while to get where they were. 2K took years to get to where they were. And if you put that into perspective, I mean, he's not a big company. He's an indie developer, and look what he's already done already in just a year. I think the progress is good, and he deserves a shot, guys. Let's give it to him. That's it. I'll see you guys next time.